everyone. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. This is going to be a pretty quick one. Today we are going to be reviewing The Chamber by Christopher Hawk. I want to preface this by saying Christopher Hawk, he is a friend of mine. I have met him on occasion. He wrote this book and he gave me a copy for free to read and review. So given that information, it kind of pains me to say that unfortunately this was a DNF for me. I just could not finish this book, and I really hate that. A lot of people online say, oh, you shouldn't review books if you do not finish them. And to a point, I do agree, because you really don't get the whole scope of the story. However, I think it is fair for anyone to review what they have read and express to other people, this was my reaction to it and why I couldn't get hooked into the story, and that's basically what this review is going to be. First and foremost, I want to say I tried this book twice. I started it on a Friday. I figured, man, maybe I'm just tired. Let me just take the weekend, not read this book, read something else, my book club picks, and then I'll come back to it on Monday, right? And that's exactly what I did. I put the book down, didn't touch it for 2 days, and then on Monday, during my morning routine, I like to set aside 30 minutes to an hour to read. And I was just so bored. I think the premise is interesting. It reminded me a lot of Dennis Lehane's Shutter Island to a point. So I really was interested in the plot. When he gave me the book, I thought, oh, this is the book I'm going to love. I'm totally going to get into it. But there was just... It has a good opening. I want to say that. It has a good opening. But you're going between the doctor, Dr. Elliot Turner, and then you're also going to the detective Jacob Sterling, whose first introduction is he's investigating a domestic homicide. First of all, it didn't really flow. There was a lack of fluidity with the transitions when it came to the story, so I kind of got lost a lot of the way. I'm like, wait, where are we in this scene? What is he reading in this scene? It was a struggle for me to really get invested in the story, because it was hard for me to follow certain elements, small elements too. And then you also have the characters. I could not connect to either of these guys. Detective Jacob Sterling, I couldn't connect to him, and Elliot Turner, I couldn't connect to him either. Neither of these characters was interesting to me. They were both very lackluster. They seemed to lack a certain amount of depth to them. And that's not to say maybe there's more character development as the story progresses. Again, I didn't finish the story, so I can't tell you if there is. I can only tell you my initial reaction to them was, it was very, I tried. I got to chapter 10, and that was a struggle for me, let me say. Because I was just like, no, I have to read this book. I have to read this book. And my coworkers could even see me struggling. They're like, Cynthia, you're not enjoying this. They're like, you have a to-be-read pile. And I'm like, I know. They're like, you're not enjoying this. I'm like, it's just so boring. It was just so boring to me. I wasn't engaged at all. My coworkers like, it's okay. They actually spit my words back at me. They're like, it's okay to put down a book you're not enjoying and just DNF it. They're like, it's okay. And I say that to people all the time. It's okay to DNF a book. Even if it's a book someone who you consider a friend gives you, even if it makes you feel bad. I mean, I don't think my friend would really be like, would force me to read the book, right? It was just very lackluster. It really lacked a lot of depth for me, and I couldn't get past chapter 10. I was literally falling asleep reading that book, which is why the first time I put it down, I got to chapter 5, and I'm like, maybe I'm just tired. It's Friday. I've, it's been a week. Let me just put it down and then I'll start it fresh on Monday. Started it fresh and it was just like me bored out of my mind, not enjoying it, not engaged, and I really feel so bad that I did not like this book and did not finish it and just couldn't finish it. It was such a struggle. It was such a struggle for me. And I feel so bad that it was such a struggle for me because I am friends with the author. I am friends with his wife too. And I just it's not even that I didn't like it. I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't even get into the story. I could not connect to the characters. I thought the plot was intriguing, but that just wasn't enough to hold my attention. So unfortunately, this was a DNF book for me. And with all DNF books, sorry, it only gets 1 out of 5 stars. However, my opinion is my own, and I encourage you all to at least look into this book, especially because I did not finish it, so I don't have the full scope of the book. So if you are someone interested in it, in the murder in an asylum that sort of has some religious aspects to it, and then you have the officer, he has to go undercover in the asylum, if any of those things interest you, I do recommend going to check out this book and giving it a shot. So once again, 1 out of 5 stars. I will include links in the description on where you can purchase the book if you so desire. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this podcast, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with our book loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me Coffee, Ko-fi, Patreon, or by purchasing one of my handmade candles or following any of my social media platforms. Links to everything in the description. I hope, again, that you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.